G'day everyone, Dubster here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be doing a review on the new Viking Longboat 3-in-1 creator set. It is set number 31132. It's called the Viking ship and the Midgard Serpent. It has 1,192 pieces and comes with 4 minifigs. Now I picked up 2 sets, so we will be looking at all 3 builds today. But as you can see, I've got the Viking house here, the Longboat, the Serpent, and all of the 8 minifigs from the 2 sets. Of course, we'll be doing some comparisons with each of the 3 builds, but there's lots of goodness here, so let's get into it. Starting with the 3rd and smallest build of the set, you do get a individual instruction book for this build. In each of the 3 builds, we do use the same minifigure parts combination for each minifigure, but the weapons do change up a little bit. And Redbeard here gets a shield in this build. Totally impractical, way too big. Hard to get him to hold it properly, but because of its size, it does keep him upright. We get a little terrain build here that acts as a counterweight to this pine tree. Does have a little feature here that you can hide some gems in there, and we do get a fire pit, and of course we get our lovely pine tree. Always amazes me what Lego can do with leftover pieces and how they can create something, you know, like a pine tree just with bricks like this. I think I actually think it looks pretty good. It's a little bit wobbly. It is just built upon a Technic axle piece, so that's why, again, it's a little bit flexible. A lot of weight in the top section here, but it definitely pulls off the look of a pine tree quite well. Of course, the main feature of this build is the Fenris wolf, and I must admit, when I first saw the pictures for this, I didn't think too much of this wolf. But upon building it, it has lifted my appreciation somewhat. It definitely has its flaws, but on the whole, I actually think it does look pretty good. There's not a lot of posability with this wolf. It does have a lot of movable pieces to it, but it doesn't exactly correlate to it being a good posable figure. So really, I think that the best you can do is, I like this sort of wider stance, but you can tuck it all in and have a much thinner profile down the wolf. But I prefer just to angle it out a little bit, just get a little bit more bulkiness to the wolf. Posability, we do have the tail rotates on a pin and then hinges back here like so. So not a lot to it. We can, like so, that's about it. The same functions with the neck. Turns on a pin at the base and then hinges at the back of the head. Does have a movable jaw as well. When it comes to the legs, we have on the rear feet, they are actually rotatable sideways, and they just rotate on the peg into the stud hole there. And because of this hinge here, of course, we can rotate on the ratchet back and forth, and it does come out as well, so you can have him cock his leg if that's what you like to do. Same on the front. The heel is on a ball joint this time, so a lot more range with the front paw, and again, just rotation on the ratchet back and forth, in and out. Now, this isn't the first time we've got the Fenris wolf. We have had a few additions in the past. First of all, we have the wolf from the Ultimate Battle for Asgard from the Thor set 76084. And if we get them side by side here, yeah, this one is not great. I much prefer this guy, that is for sure. But yeah, there's really no comparison, is there? This one's a lot bigger and just looks a lot better, to be honest. So if we move our one from 2017 back, and we're going to bring in one from 2005. This is set 7015. The Viking Warrior challenges the Fenris Wolf. And here is the Fenris Wolf. And I think this guy actually works really well to a minifig scale. I think that's pretty cool. Can't get them to stand up. Not much to this one, not much at all. I do really like this moulded head. I think that looks pretty good. So we can sort of have our Great Dane and our Chihuahua here. So yeah, not a lot to this one. Let's have a bit of a closer look at him. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about this guy. I really like this one. So yeah, side by side, I guess it's not much of a comparison there, but yeah, like I said, I've got a soft spot for this guy, but overall, I think this one does hold the title as the best Fenris Wolf from Lego. And this is the leftover pieces after building the third build, the Fenris Wolf. We'll have all of these pieces left over. So here we have the second build of the set, and this is the Viking house. And I have to say straight off the bat, I really like this build. I think Lego did a great job with this, and so much so, once I've finished customizing the Viking ship, I'm actually hoping I have enough pieces to put this back together. So again, it comes with its own instruction book. Again, we have the same parts combination for the minifigs. However, this guy here has a hammer, and he's using it on the anvil here. On the side of the house, we get a little river section, little creek section with some greenery. We get a little brick built fire. Don't think too much of that. The cow is pretty cool. I like the cow. I think that looks great. And of course, it's a cow with a plow. If I can stand him up right, we can see the plow using the axe pieces. That's pretty cool. Of course, we can't have Lego Vikings without a dragon. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know it's a dragon, but yeah, I don't think too much of this. Let's clear this stuff out and have a closer look at the Viking house itself. Very nice detail using curved plates and tiles, and that continues up on the roof section here, adorned with a shield and some nice detail. I think the whole thing together just looks great. Turning to the side of the house, we have an opening there, and the back of the house, which looks just as good as the front, and in from this side here, as I said, where the anvil is, and he's doing a bit of beating on that sword. Now with the roof section, it just clips on a couple of clips up the top here. We can open that up and have a look in from the side, so you can have a good look in there. And we have shields on both sides of the pillar there, and on opposite sides. Let's let some more light in and lift this one up as well. So very good access into the house. And if that's not enough for you, you can actually remove the whole roof section, comes off, and you can get down inside. And now we can have a look, and we've got a bit of pattern on the floor there that looks quite good, with a little fire going, and of course a chair. So not a lot going on the inside, but plenty of space to put your minifigures. So while the previous build felt like an interesting take on a Fenris Wolf from the available pieces from this set, I definitely feel this one is a much better set, a much better build, and is worthy of its own separate build and own display. And just to help with an idea of size, let's do some quick comparisons. finally we have our main build, our Viking Longboat and Midgard Serpent. And of course, again, we get our own instruction book for this build. It is the biggest size instruction book. We get a barrel with some gems. We get our cow. Again, very cool looking cow. We have our 4 minifigures. Let's take a closer look at them this time. We have Redbeard here. And this is one of 2 of these torsos in this set. So all new torsos. Let's have a look at the female, and you can see that's the same torso there. We have the old chief. He has his fur collar and his queen. And again, very nice. Let's take this off. Very nice torso print on this character. And we get a new molded hairpiece with the hair and the wings all molded in together. And now for our serpent, get these guys out of the way. Have a flat base here to sit the serpent on, and it has a number of ratchet hinges right through the tail. This section is all fixed all through the front and the neck, and then the neck is on a pin, so we can swivel the head. It does have jaw articulation, but there's no hinges there that you can move, but you can adjust the tail here, so you could do some different poses with the tail. And then on the very rear here we have a couple of ball joints, so you can get some extra articulation like so. Okay, and now on to the ship. Let's get the play feature out of the way. Straight up, we have a ballista stud shooter here, and we have all of our barrels down in here that we can feed into ballista. And which way are we going to go? Let's shoot backwards, and it's just got a rubber band, and we can just pull this section back. A little bit hard to show you here, so this just pulls back, and you can quick release and let it fire, but you need to put your thumb on this piece here, so a little bit hard to show. Let me tip it right up, and let's see how good she fires. Let's have one more go at that. Alright, let's see if I can hit the serpent. Oh, I just missed it. So let's have a look at some of this detail on the longboat. The figurehead here, the dragon, that is very well done. I really like that, and I really just like the actual shaping of the longboat, just to have how it comes out wider here just by layering the plates. I think that looks fantastic. It's a very nice profile from front on, and again from the side, again another really good profile. We have it come out and back to the head, so very nice shaping, even a little bit of detail in there as well. So the front section is just spot on. It's fantastic. And just looking down the side of the boat, interesting use of colors with the dark blue and the yellow and the reddish brown, of course, but I really think it works. I think that it's a nice change, I think, to just having all muted colors. So yes, I'm really appreciate the color choices here. The brick built shields, again, fantastic. Not real good for the minifigures, but on the side of the ship here, they really do look good. And if we go to the bow of the ship, the stern of the ship, I should say, again, exactly the same in the design, looking fantastic. And just the tail of the dragon, very nice indeed. Inside the ship, we have a little fireplace back here, and we're cooking up some fish. We have a little covered area here where they can sit and eat. So decent amount of space in the build. It's a little bit hard to get around, get your hands in there with the rigging and the ballista at the front, but you can actually remove the roof so you can get in there. So there's the roof there, so you can remove that. And looking down in the depths of the hull, you can see there's nice amount of space in there to put your minifigures. At the front of the boat, we do have some flames up here, and one of the really cool things are the ravens up on the sail here, the mast. Very cool looking. We get 2 ravens, 1 on each side, and great piece usage using those flippers. I mean, that's really cool. Underneath the boat, we just have the rounded cup tiles, so you can easily maneuver it over a surface. Another interesting part of the build process is the rigging, and everything in the rigging is just so taut. It's very nice to see, and you can see how it's just stretched to its limits here. If I can get up and show you that piece there, I mean, you can really see that is under some strain. So we use one of, not actually sure what you call this, extending piece that clips onto the ball joints. The ball has a socket on the end, just clips on, and then it's just feeds through the rigging piece here and is clipped on with a stud to hold it all together. But you can see that is under some tension. And we have the join at the top with our flag, and then again it's the same rigging idea at the back. Now the rigging on the sides here just goes down and clips on these hook pieces, and you can see how it's attached up here. If I can get it in camera, a little bit tricky. And again, very taut. Well, these ones aren't as taut as these, but still nice tension there. And they actually have a dual purpose, because the brick built sail actually sits on that rigging just to give it a little bit more angle outwards. And we can see the brick built sail here, how it clips onto the top of the mast here, just plugs straight into there, so it's easy to remove. And just looking at how that's put together, and yeah, it's very effective build, and very striking with the red and white. Now, is it perfect? No, I do have an issue with it, and I'll give you all of that in my final thoughts, because we've got to do a bit of a comparison first. But I did want to show you the style of build, and what I'm actually thinking this is going to be a quite complicated build to customize, just because like the design from Lego is really fantastic, and they've put a lot of time and effort into this. And you can see how everything is just, it's studs on the side, all down the neck of the bow of the ship, and then right down the side, and everything. And you can see like this panel here just clips on the outside. So very hard to make any adjustments, because you really have to start again working out all this stud placement. So quite tricky. Not quite sure what I'm going to do to customize this ship. So yeah, still got to think about that. But yeah, I just thought that was a very interesting thing to show, is how this ship is actually put together. So our very first comparison has to be with the Midgard Serpent. Now for those that aren't aware, this build is actually a take on a build from 2007 where Lego did a Viking ship and a Midgard Serpent, and of course this is the Serpent from that set. Now that set was 7018, it was back in 2007, it was called the Viking ship challenges the Midgard Serpent. And while I do really like what Lego did with this all brick built Serpent, I still prefer this old one with this molded headpiece and these molded pieces. There's just something about that. There's something about this Serpent that just looks really cool. I really do love this Serpent. Well, if you're going to do a comparison with a Viking Longboat, why not do it with another Lego Viking Longboat? So again, this is the Longboat from the set 7018, but let's compare it with some other ships. So when I said at the start there was lots of goodness to get through, that was not a lie. And just looking at the two builds here, the two bigger builds of the Creator 3-in-1 set, I mean that just looks like an awesome display right there, doesn't it? I'm very glad I picked up two sets just for the minifigs, just to get 8 Viking minifigs, and I really appreciate that we got new minifigs in this set, some new molded pieces even for the minifigs. I mean, it's just outstanding for a Creator set. To think we never even used to get minifigures, we've come a long way, and yes, just outstanding, just the minifigures alone. The other thing I have to tip my hat to is the design. I love the design of the Viking house. The design of the ship is very interesting. Great color choices for the ship and the Serpent. I do have one minor gripe, and it is forgivable. It's to do with the brick built sail. Now, I really do like the brick built sail. I think Lego did a fantastic job with it. However, I just think it's too small for a ship this size. I mean, with that size sail, you need some serious wind to get that boat moving through the waves. Inside the ship, it is a little bit tight for space. Still plenty of room for your 4 minifigures, but to get your hands in there and around it, it is a little bit difficult. But that is, of course, realistic. They used to cram a lot of Vikings into these longboats. So not much negatives to talk about at all, a lot of positives. On the whole, I think this set is fantastic. I highly recommend picking up at least one copy. Pick up one copy, tip out all the pieces, let's go old school, build all 3 builds, finish off with your Viking Longboat, and you're going to get value for money, and it's a fantastic set to put on display. Now, I'm not done with this build yet. I am going to have an attempt at doing a modification or two to the Longboat, and I want to do another comparison video where I compare 3 brick built Viking longboats that I have. So we did see one today, I do have another one, so I want to do a face off and see how that comes out and see which one is the best. So look forward to that. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. I'd really love, most of all, for you to leave a comment though. Tell me what you think. Have you picked up this set? What do you think of it? Do you plan on picking it up? And if not, why not? Love to hear from you. Put it all in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. And these are the pieces you have left once you've completed the Viking house. A few pieces left over from the ship build.